When we talk about women of change in politics making a difference, you go from Condoleezza Rice, from Elijah Ransom Kuti, to even Joyce Banda, and even Ellen Sirleaf Johnson of Liberia. Women in politics have become an agenda that has been most thriving in every Nigerian mind, especially that of the women. Gender Agenda is a women empowerment political talk show that seeks to address the state of nationhood, governance and policy making for the Nigerian woman. It seeks to look at the ambiguity in gender affiliation, especially with political parties, and the representation of the Nigerian woman for and in politics. Gender Agenda, Women Arise, exclusively on AIT. My name is Adora, and this is Gender Agenda.
Now, last week we were talking to Esther Uzoma and Governor Oduara of Delta State, and we're looking at women's participation, parity, law, the language of law, and we want to just set a pace from that interview as we conclude, and we will come back. Right now, I'm in the middle of the Central Market at Wuse 2. If you haven't understood the language of women, this is where the heart of women beats. This is where they dwell, this is where they do their business, and this is where it all happens. We'll be right back. You're watching Gender Agenda.
This is Gender Agenda.
The Aba Women Riot was led by women organized, came together and said, oh, this has to stop. When the men didn't even have the stomach to face the colonial masters, these women came together. They were not educated, they were just women fighting for, for the rights of, exactly. They all came together, but at some point, this divisive, what will I call it, philosophy entered the ranks, and it has continued to boomerang. And we are putting a stop to it. We have sisters who are helping sisters. We have sisters who are mentoring sisters. It is not, we are not there yet, but we're getting there gradually. We don't see women politicians mentoring younger women politicians, but there are people who are mentoring young women politicians. Yeah, like Women in Politics, for instance, is a forum that trains young. I'm talking about teenagers, early 20s, training, giving them intensive training, on politics, just so that they will learn the ropes very, very early. So everybody has not caught the fever, but we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, but what about if you listen to the governor as well? He said something about Barack Obama saying that if you lay out maybe say 700 men, and you want something done, out of the 700 men who cannot do it, give it to the same 700 women. You will find out that half of it gets done and on time. And something of Oprah Winfrey that keeps ringing in my head when she says, because I am a woman, I must make an unusual effort to succeed in a man's world.
Yes.
And that is a classic case of a woman.
That is correct.
Right from history. Now, you listen to such people and you look at the majority of the electors, over 100 and something million Nigerians, and 75% of the electors who go out to vote are women.
That's right.
They are the ones who put their votes out there.
That is correct.
Now, don't you think it's about time? Somebody would argue and say that, okay, since we like to say that women need equity,
we should take it.
We should take it and we should go out there and fight for it.
Actually, it's about time. It's about time. The game changers, the registered voters, and the people who actually come out to vote, just women and youths. Majorly women. What we are doing now is just organizing within the ranks. All that power, pulling it together. Days of Maggie and salt politics, all those days are gone. These are today's politics is issue-based politics. So that's why we educate these women and ask them look at the questions to ask. Look at the things to look out for. It's no longer, oh, our men have said it, let us follow them. No. And the truth of the matter is that if we as we are closing the ranks, we can do it. It is possible. Because it's a question of numbers. So we have the numerical strength. But we have to provoke the desire to get there. You know, we just like the governor said, we are not asking, you know, for political posts just because we are women. We are asking it for it because there are women who can deliver. And years of patriarchal existence has to be balanced by positive legislation. So when we now balance it by that positive legislation, then let it roll.
Okay, I don't know. When it comes to American politics, recently the parliament is looking at a total redefinition because the Republicans are saying that if they only had recognized the women during the Obama's election, maybe Mitt Romney would have been in office. Because what they saw through the electorates and the way that their campaign ran was that a lot of black American women and a lot of young black American students that were female were the ones who galvanized support for Barack Obama. And they're looking at the parliament now and saying that perhaps it's time we take, you know, the baton back. And so what they have begun to understand is that if you want something to be done politically and the news to spread faster, go through a woman. They're beginning to understand that. But not to take that back, I know that women movements, women, you know, revolutions about
and all that
started way back in the 1848.
That's right.
You talk about Germany. You talk even how the WHO and the UN started and all of that.
That's right.
It came from the burdening of a woman.
That's right. That's right.
So you look at that, and then you come to Africa. You talked about Rwanda. I mean, look at South Africa as well, and little Malawi. You see that a woman has become the president.
That's right. And we are still
bad.
Yes.
So where do we draw the line and say, you know,
this is our problem?
Yes.
You see, the Nigerian, you know, we live in a country where, remember, where we hear folklores of men who literally transmute into gods. You know, so that masculinity is heightened here. We hear of great men who were so heroic, suddenly they were gods and they were being worshipped and all that and all that. That is where we are coming from. Our men, you know, history, legend so magnifies them, gives them supernatural powers. There's no story about a woman who became a goddess. You don't hear any such thing that, oh, this woman was so great. It's only men. They were so strong. You know, they become gods. Sometimes they will be speaking fire. Fire will literally be coming out from their... Yes, we hear such legends. Yeah, exactly, we hear such legends. But we don't have women transmitting into gods. So history have always put the woman, this strong, vibrant, intelligent, beautiful creature, in the background of things. Once in a while she rises, but as we are talking the talk, Gender Agenda is it's a great program. People are listening because the images, whoever controls the images controls our self-esteem. So as we are watching it, as people are listening, especially the young impressionable ones, are saying, oh, so this is not how it is. Their mentality, their conception, their perception of issues is also changing. They will no longer stand and say, oh, I'm a man, this is how it's going to be done. No, they will not say, oh, maybe let's even see what this other person is saying. And eventually, because we have to bridge the gap, we have, you know, women millionaires and all that, successful business women.
They can put their money behind.
Exactly. So why are they not putting it down? Because there's strong community figures have not emerged. Strong feminine community figures. But we're gathering them. You know, it will catch fire eventually, but you know, just smoking a bit, very well.
With the stones.
With the stones, yes.
All right. Now, thank you for that. Now, let's look at mentorship. Which
very, yes.
You know, you said earlier, you know, in a private discussion, sorry to quote you here, when you said you asked somebody what she wants to be and she says, I want to be the first lady. Like, you know, that's the all and all.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, how do we begin to redevelop, rejuvenate the need, the fire for wanting to do well and get, you know, elected based on capacity and let the title not even be the worry?
Exactly. It's by teaching. And then mentorship is so key. You know, if you are there, encourage other younger women. Why should you do that? Because you never know where that woman will end up. Somehow, somebody you know, your cousin, your relative might end up marrying that person as a wife. You see, so this mutual, this seeming in quotes mutual destruct must stop.
This is Gender Agenda. Women Arise.
Teach the younger woman how to grow, how to even become better. The experience you have acquired in office, the experience how difficult it was for you getting there, so that she doesn't have to suffer what you suffered. That's the whole idea. If she doesn't suffer what you suffered, then she'll be better than you are, and then other people, she will also lift up other people. That way we all get better. But if it dies with you, then it's useless. We must embrace fully the culture of mentorship. We must embrace it.
Now, does a home have any place here? Because they say charity begins at home, and when you listen and you watch the lifestyles of our women, of our mothers, it is modeled. It's almost sheltered, if I can use the word, because they are used to not being heard. The men are the ones who are heard. Like you said, they are the gods. Now, do you think the role of a home comes into play here? How the mothers mentor their daughters, just even before they get into that place where it's called life through the universe? In
fact, it's so very important. The home is very, very key, because if you see a child who does not have that family support, you also see it playing out in relationship, with other persons. Okay. To that extent, therefore, it is necessary that a woman, you should teach your daughter not to be a beggar. Teach your daughter not to be a slave. Slavery is not a feminine attribute. No way. It's not, you are not a beautiful woman when you exhibit, first class, classic slavery. You come into a board meeting, you are the one who will serve tea for everybody, because that's what they taught you at home. So you come in, maybe you are supposed to chair a meeting, suddenly you are serving tea. It's not a feminine virtue. You are the MD, and then suddenly your gate man, you clean his shoes. No. That is not humility. It's not humility. That's not it. If you want to help that gate man, you empower him, make him wealthy. Not come and clean his shoe. That's eye service. Doesn't impact. So for the woman, teach your little girl. Let her teach her, so that she will be the kind of person you want your son to marry. She is strong. She knows, she's strong, she's disciplined, she's cultured, she knows what people are reading in the newspapers. Don't let, the social media teach her for you. Stay there and teach her. Impact feminine virtues into her. But above all, she must know how to relate in this ever-changing world. You cannot groom your daughter and suddenly you have a girl who is like 20 years behind time. Of course, you have incapacitated her. Exactly. So the home has a role to play, because it's the basis for growth.
So what's your message to the men out there? Because of course you can't take it away that somebody will keep telling you, no matter how much we shout about this from the rooftop, Adora, this is still a man's world. Especially you're in Africa. The stereotyping is there. The culture is there. The religion is there. The way things are meant to be. The template for a woman's, like you just said, coming to a board meeting, you're chairing and you're serving tea. To a lot of men, oh, she's such a homely person.
Yeah, right.
So but let's look at what the color blue should be. The color blue. What would you tell the men, especially in understanding that women need a voice?
You see, what I'll tell the men is this: is very, very simple. Women. I don't need to remind them that they're human beings. But it is better. They will benefit more if they make space for the woman. That's like, for instance, addressing the National Assembly. Let's introduce gender parity. Let's make it a constitutional requirement. Then for the political parties, elective positions, not just exactly, let's also have that gender parity. Why? That is how we benefit more from half of humanity.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. This your food looks very palatable.
Thank you.
So that is just what we want to know. But I now trying to organize. I'm trying to get a show. It's not about the president. He needs more women in politics. He needs finish, yes or no, that will represent. Are you serious? The women forget their work. They don't represent us. Obviously we're having a lot of problems getting remarks from these women. A lot of them are saying that the women can help, but when they get there, all they do is think about themselves. In fact, even looking at the rural women's body language, it's absolutely clear that there seems to be lack of communication between the Nigerian women and the people who represent them in office. We're going to try very hard to get more remarks from people out there, but right now we're going to go to the other side of the market and then maybe across the street. You're watching FemFile on Gender Agenda. We'll be right back. Now, more women in politics, more participation.
Yes.
What do you want to say to the women in Nigeria? Because a lot of them feel like you. They feel hopeless. They feel resigned. They almost feel there's no need for all of this noise about women in politics. What is the hope if there is such a feeling? What is your message? What is your encouragement?
The truth is that the more women cleave to the word of God, the more God will give us more sense of direction and purpose. We shouldn't lose our faith, we shouldn't lose our strength, because without a woman, a man is incomplete. Woman works together for the goodness of the Lord, so that at the end God will take his glory. A home a woman is not there, something is missing. So in the political terrain, women are not there. There are still vacancies, there are still that misunderstand, mishap, you know. Women put things together. Just imagine domestically at home. If a woman is not there, things get wrong.
Indeed, yes. Indeed. So like they say, instead of behind every successful man, beside every successful man, there is a woman. Thank you so much. You're wonderful. And I hope you keep the faith alive. We need people like you to keep talking. Thank you so much. Well, you have heard her. Well, I would say that, on a second thought, people would call her a feminist. But if you listen to her, you find out that feminism is actually an alternative voice for an alternative gender, being that she's female, depending on the climb you are. The office that you hold or the jobs that you require or you want to reflect should not be concentrated just because of your chromosome. Whether you're a man or woman, there is gender parity. Equity might be the word, maybe not just equality. This is Gender Agenda, and we will be right back.
This is Gender Agenda.
Are we voting the right women into office?
The truth about it is that we are still developing. Democracy has not really set in. You understand? Based on that, few women that are there, is only few of them have the masses' interest at heart. Others are just after their own self-interest. That is just.
So the women have become men as well?
Not that they have become men. With time, Nigerian democracy is not really getting stable.
Okay, but if you're saying that the women there are for themselves, is it not up to you and me and the electorates to vote the women that can work? And you can even choose somebody in the market and say, we can even say, we vote for you, mama. We want you to go for election. Yes. And you can control the masses and the number of women in this market. And that's called independent candidacy. Don't you think that it has come to that point where we should vote one of us?
The truth is that we are not practicing pure democracy. It's all about moneycracy, where money dictates who is in that office.
Thank you very much.
That is it. Until they get to that.
Moneycracy and not democracy. Lips are sealed. We'll be right back.
My name Justina Mutale. I am African Woman of the Year, and I'd like to encourage all women in Nigeria and all over Africa to get involved in governance and politics in their countries.
Obviously we need more women to help us. How you see them? No, sorry, no, make we talk, because not be to say we need, we go stay here, they talk. It's not gonna happen if nobody talk out. Now true talk with that.
No, you see, as you see us here now, some of us don't have money to rent food.
Okay.
You can see us outside bracket there. The shop is 1.4. Not everybody have money, but nobody to rent up. Say our hair. That is why we're in the market. All of us, we are married women.
Okay.
You understand?
Okay.
So we need someone that can help us.
Okay. So you need a woman where say if you go government, you go walk the walk. You go carry na matter, give to government. Say now so I like her. That's so we want her. But the thing we say, how is it possible? Because no woman they come out. Waiting you want tell women wait there outside say waiting be the encouragement. Waiting they tell them.
As how?
We want make you encourage the women. Maybe they come out for office. Maybe they come for government. They help, because if they no come out, they no fit help. So they need people like you to encourage them. They never see person like you where go talk say we need you for office. So if we see people like you, plenty of now we go get voice. They talk this matter. Something will happen. They go help.
We don't talk tired. They don't come out. That's why we're tired. We need to hold by ourselves to get it.
Are you serious?
We don't talk tired. When they say boat for us, we boat. Nothing. After boating, they forget us. It's happening.
So you think say na 419?
No, I didn't know.
The result never
nothing come out.
Oh, the result no they come out.
You know they come out. After boating, we boat tired. Someone I say we be on the line. We are putting.
You go further.
Nothing.
With hungry.
Smash shoe for grand. Nothing.
Fight for the kill.
It's incredible. I'm actually spoiled for words, because it clearly shows that the people are alive and they understand what it means to have a mental revolution, but they are not taking to the streets, and they are staying in their own quiet corners and calling to the country, especially women, that it is not just enough to vote for you, it's enough to vote for you and something happens with the vote that they cast for you. And so it is now up to the political parties and up to the government and up to the executive to understand that women's participation in governance is key, as it seems we are looking at a dwindling number of female electorates come 2015. With this kind of response, with this kind of expression, trust me, it is bad. We will be right back. I have to pay my dues.
This is Gender Agenda.
Is it not time we see more women out there representing our needs as they are? Okay, if you say that the women that went to school are not doing it well, can't we also develop a group here that will say, let's choose one woman in this market that we know that is capable of taking our plight there in the government? Is it not time? Or you know, is it okay for you like this?
But in like this market especially, now that is what we are trying to bring up now.
Okay, ma.
Yeah, for this market now. We are trying to bring such up. We're now having a women group that is like last 2 weeks Tuesday. We are in that Eagle Square. We are trying to, you know, motivate many women to join so that they will know that yes, there is impact woman can play in politics. So that's where we are trying.
Where we are heading now. Okay, so if, for instance, what is it that you think women need right now in this country, that if a woman should go there, it is one thing that you know that you want her to do for Nigerian women?
Well, actually, being a woman, we suppose need freedom, we suppose need help, you know, helping hands. Because in this nation, now let me say, it's women that struggle more than men. Because of that is where they keep us. They know us as housewives. You know, all these things we have to do, like selling all these things we have to sell, because it's very hard seeing a man doing this thing we are doing. But men, we know them as being at office, sitting there, coming back, daddy welcome. But they didn't know women like that. That is why now we are trying now to bring it up so that
speak out.
Women, to speak out so that women too will be there. Women. But one thing we will be women when we are there. One problem, you know, say we like fashion. We may not do it as men do. And that is one problem we have.
Fashion is one of the problems, is it? Okay. All right, thank you for that. But finally, if we don't get this right now, are you not worried about our daughters in future? Those we are putting so much money into their education, what becomes of their dreams if we can't chart a course for them now?
Yeah, like by God's grace, as we are trying, pushing now, I know soonness will be there. And when we are there, our daughters too will be there by God's grace. That is one thing I believe God on, because it's God we are pushing. That is anyhow. Everybody wants to be there. If I have a daughter, I will be proud that my daughter is there. And
making change happen.
Yes, I'm making change. There is many women I know that they are there. They are happy. Yes. But by God's grace, we'll be there. Our daughters will be there.
Yes,
when your daughter is there, you are there.
I did. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. I'm grateful. Well,
I've been seeing both of you. Even you.
Oh yes, all of them. These are my crew. Well, anyway, sorry for the side attraction.
Like my first time to see you physically.
Oh, is it? Oh, sorry. This is just simple meaning. You see now. I'm even wearing slippers.
You're welcome.
All right. Just before we go, Uganda goes through elections 2016. You must know that the women are saying enough. And if, of course, Museveni has to come back to power, they're giving him two conditions. One, more women in power. Two, mainly at the rural level. For us here in Nigeria, we've spoken to a variety of them in their own palpitations, in their voices, and one vociferation stands clear. We should begin to speak out. But aside from that, when you get there, work the work. I keep saying this, it's almost sounding like a broken record. Women arise. My name is Adora Onyenchime. Thank you so much, madam. I didn't even get to get your name. What's your name?
My name is Doris Emmanuel.
Doris Emmanuel. Your husband must be proud of you.
Yeah.
Very proud of you.
Yeah.
And it comes up 1:30 p.m. on Sundays. Okay. So please look out. So
when you show me now, even my church.
We gotta go. See you next week.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Let me use this opportunity to appeal to all women in Nigeria to participate in politics, and when it comes to election, they should come out and observe the rule of the country. And if they want to be elected, they should play the greater role in communicating with the people so that they can be elected. By so doing, there will be no discrimination whatsoever.